What's going on, everybody? Bryan Power, WagerTalk.com here with you. Wednesday, March 20th. It's the Power 5. You know what we're about to talk about. It's the NCAA Tournament. We're just a little bit under 24 hours away from the tournament tipping off proper. And here on the show today, we're going back to our usual format. We'll be talking how the market's moving, what team to sell high on, what team to buy low on, favorite stat of the week, and I'll give you a free play for Friday in the round of 64 as well. Plus, stay tuned so you can hear how you can get all of my plays from tonight, Wednesday, all the way through Friday for just $29. All right, let's open the WagerTalk.com live odds screen to see how the market is moving. Four sides have caught my eye here. Tennessee, 3-point move from minus 18.5 to minus 21.5. That number opened too low, obviously. I agree that it opened too low. Wouldn't bet it at the current number, though. I have some trepidation about Rick Barnes, his history in the tournament, although St. Peter's is going to struggle to score in that matchup, guys. Drake, they have flipped. This is a popular pick out of the MVC, the Missouri Valley, the Bulldogs. They opened as a 1.5-point dog. They are now 1.5-point favorites against Washington State. I think Drake can not only win this game, I think they can win twice in this tournament and go to the second weekend. BYU, interesting stuff here, guys, if you haven't heard about this. BYU dropped from a 5 to a 6 seed because they cannot play on Sundays. So the committee wanted to honor that, and as a result, they get the weakest 11 seed in Duquesne. BYU has moved from a 7.5 to a 9.5 point favorite for that 6-11 matchup there. I think it's a favorable matchup for the Cougars. Morehead State is a trendy underdog. Even though Illinois just won the Big Ten tournament, Morehead State is now plus 11.5 against the Fighting Illini. The Eagles, champions of the Ohio Valley, opened plus 13.5. Totals. There are three totals which are really on the move that I want to talk about. Alabama and Charleston. Now, this number has gone from only 172.5 to 173.5. But let's be careful how we use the word only here. This is the highest total for any tournament game in 30 years. So the fact that it's gone up a point, let's not outthink the room here, guys. People are expecting points here, and for good reason, between Alabama and Charleston. These teams, all offense, no defense. There's going to be a lot of points scored in that one. Gonzaga, McNeese, interesting 5 versus 12 matchup here. I don't think I can really get to the window in terms of the side, but I'll tell you, bettors like the over here. This is another one we've seen some movement. 148 to 150 is how the total has moved for that one. San Diego State, UAB. This is one where bettors love the over. UAB is not very good defensively. They had a favorable path in the American tourney. Well, we've seen this total get bet up 5.5 points from 134 to 139.5. Is San Diego State the kind of dance partner that you would like to see, though, when betting the over? Not really. That one may have moved a few too many points for my taste there. So that is how the market is moving. Now we move to our sell high and buy low portion of the program. We're going to focus on the East region of the bracket. Sell high, Iowa State, winners of the Big 12 tournament. This is a team that is a 2 seed after coming into the season unranked. Uh-oh, that's a red flag. Such teams have been prime targets for early exits in the tourney. 15 of the last 23 have lost on opening weekend. That's 15 of the last 23 teams that came into the season unranked and are now a top 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. This includes Purdue and Marquette last year. We all remember what happened with Purdue, the infamous loss to Fairleigh Dickinson. No, not one of these teams have made a Final Four. So if you're unranked at the start of the season and a top 2 seed coming to the tournament, one more time, you are prime material for being sold high on. With Iowa State, I think their recent numbers when it comes to 3-point defense are also due to regress. I don't expect Iowa State to come out of the East region, or quite frankly, even make it to the Elite 8 if they were to get it even past the opening weekend. Buy low, sticking in the East region, Auburn. Now, interesting that you could argue the Tigers are at the peak of their market after winning the SEC tournament. What's the difference between them and Iowa State, who I just told you to sell high on in the East region? Well, Auburn's a 4 seed. Come on. I have Auburn rated as a top 5 team in the country in my power ratings. So I would gladly take them plus 380 to win the East region. In the bottom half of that region, again, I'm not a believer in Iowa State. Just told you why. Or Illinois, who plays no defense. To me, the East is going to come down to Auburn or the top seed UConn, who is obviously the defending national champions. But get this. Since Florida in 2007, who was our last repeat tournament winner, no defending champion has made it past the Sweet 16. In fact, only 4 of the last 15 defending champs have even reached the Sweet 16. Each of the last 6 years, the defending champ has lost on the opening weekend. Not saying UConn's going to do that here, but 3 of those last 6 years, the defending champion was a 1 seed and lost on the opening weekend. It was Kansas last year. So, Auburn, buy low, plus 380 to win the East region. That's basically a bet against UConn. I think that a potential matchup in the Sweet 16 is really the regional final. I like the price on Auburn, all things considered. Stat of the week, I've already given you some great ones, but here's my favorite. It's one you've probably heard me talk about before here on WagerTalk TV. 20 of the last 21 national champs have finished top 25 in adjusted offensive and defensive efficiency at KenPom. 2014 UConn was the lone exception. Here are the 8 teams that currently qualify that are top 25 in KenPom, both adjusted offensive and adjusted defensive efficiency. UConn, Purdue, Arizona, Auburn, Houston, Creighton, Marquette, North Carolina. Duke and Tennessee, both close, and they could end up qualifying if their metrics improve slightly throughout the tournament. However, I'd go ahead and throw both those teams out anyway, as well as Creighton, because no team that has lost its first conference tourney game has ever won the national championship. Bad news for Creighton, Duke, and Tennessee. So in my view, here are the 7 teams that can win it all this year. UConn, Purdue, Arizona, Auburn, Houston, Marquette, North Carolina. Honestly, Marquette's kind of shaky there. I wouldn't be picking them, so maybe look at the other 6. Already talked about why I like Auburn in the East region. Now, if you're looking for daily winning picks, head on over to wt.buzz/BP right now, where for $29, you can get every college basketball selection I have from Wednesday through Friday. It's the NCAA Mega Pass. It's right on my page. The sooner you act, the more picks you're going to get. Strong start to March Madness last night with an outright winner in the NIT on Boston College. Let's keep it rolling. wt.buzz/BP. 6 winners for just $29. There's currently 5 loaded. I'll be adding a 6th very soon, possibly by the time you're even listening here on the Power 5. Just want to make sure I get the best of the number. All right, Power Play of the week. It's going to be New Mexico money line over Clemson. This is a game on Friday. I am siding with the Lobos. Yes, it's a trendy pick, but I'm siding with them for good reason. Go back to 2001 when the 11 seed is a favorite over the 6 seed. 11 seeds are 11-4 straight up and against the number. Last time this happened, 2 years ago, Michigan beat Colorado State. Now, if you're a Clemson fan, don't get upset with me. Get upset with the committee who did a terrible, terrible job with this matchup if, you're somebody in Death Valley who likes the Tigers. New Mexico, who won the Mountain West tournament, should not be on the same seed line as Duquesne. That's crazy. Clemson, who I wasn't even sure would make the tournament on Selection Sunday, should not be on the same seed line as BYU. I think this is just a terrible job of seeding. The odds makers are telling you all you need to know with New Mexico favored. New Mexico, while they were winning the Mountain West Conference tournament and covering their last 6 games, what did Clemson do in the ACC tourney? How about one and done? They lost by 21 as a 7.5-point favorite to Boston College. Now, we obviously want to avoid recency bias, but it's hard to overlook the fact New Mexico 8-0 this season against the spread on a neutral floor. They've won 22 of 26 when favored this year. That's why we're playing the money line. If your juice tolerance isn't that high, you could still lay the short number, but just to be safe, I would play New Mexico on the money line against Clemson Friday. That is your Power Play of the week, and that does it for the Power 5 here on WagerTalk TV. You can find me on X, formerly Twitter, at Bryan Power _wins. Of course, make sure if you already haven't done so, you are subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. That way you don't miss any of our exclusive sports betting content. If you already haven't done so, give this show a thumbs up. We always appreciate the support. Hit me up with your comments down below. I will read them and respond. You can catch me at the Turning Stone Resort in upstate New York this weekend with the rest of the Wager Talk crew, hanging out, watching games. Will be a great time. Until then, let's cash some tickets.